Creating success out of failure. Creating success out of failure.
I'm Jonathan Federa. I'm here to inspire you to hustle and grow your income while doing what you love. Just because you have problems doesn't mean you can't prosper. Just because you have tragedy doesn't mean you can't triumph. Actually, you should be taking advantage of that.
There's positivity in my pain. I took scarcity and turned it into strength. I always tell life, there's not much you can do to me where I won't make an obstacle an opportunity. We never lose, we only learn lessons. If you wanna change your perspective. If you don't know how to do that, we'll show you how right now. This is about to go down. You are tuning in to creating success out of failure. Creating success creating success out of failure. Out of failure.
All right, welcome to this show, Creating Success Out of Failure. I want to talk about separators. And before we get into it, I want to go over what I mean by separators. And separators are the things that basically cause people to succeed at very, very high levels. We're talking about, the one percenters out there that really master their craft, okay? A lot of people don't understand this concept, and they don't understand it because they don't know those higher levels. They think they're successful, and a lot of people just stop where they're at, right? They don't understand how to get to that next level and how to keep advancing to that next level, right? So I want to go over a few things that I've seen, a few separators I've seen, all of the people that I take coaching from, and these are things I try to emulate, right? So let's get into it. First off, this is a pretty basic one that everyone's going to be like, oh, well, that's easy. It's not easy. I'm talking about commitment and commitment to exceeding and over delivering on everything that they do, right? So most people get stuck, they stop, they get discouraged by setbacks, okay? When you have true commitment to a cause, to a goal, they're flexible, okay? I would just want to say most people are fixed on their goals, the ones that really achieve them, and flexible on how they're achieved, all right? A lot of people quit way too early. And then I've seen some people that get stuck having to do it a certain way. What I mean by that is, they think that there's only one way to achieve that outcome. And that's a horrible thing to get stuck to, because what'll happen is you'll beat your head against the wall over and over and over. And eventually you will stop. You will fall short of that goal, right? So I think one of the big separators out there is commitment to excellence. And I can tell you right now, there are a million other things that I could be doing on Memorial Day weekend and coming in here, doing a podcast, doing a show, and trying to help everybody else, right? When you have that certain level of commitment, you don't turn it off. You have that commitment, and no matter what, you are going to get done what you have to get done. It's one of the things I really learned in 75 Hard. Right? There are a lot of times when you're in that program, you don't feel like doing it. You're trying to find time to get everything done. And the fact is, if you can finish that program, you're basically forcing yourself. You are outwilling how your body feels, how you feel mentally. You know that no matter what, you are going to accomplish that task. I strongly suggest that if you are one of those people that are on the like borderline or think they're having high levels of success, and sometimes you struggle to do the little things that you know that you should be doing to get ahead, right? Whether it's a podcast, it's writing copy, it's reaching out, making a few extra calls, setting up some new partnerships, whatever that is, all right, do 75 Hard. Commit to that, and you'll see that when you get through that, there's nothing that, is going to stop you, and you're going to train yourself to overcome, as Andy says, that bitch voice, right? Everybody has it. Every single person has that voice inside their head, and most people listen to it way too often, right? When you can develop that boss voice, when you can control every outcome that you should do, and you keep those promises to yourself, you'll feel a lot better, you'll be a lot more productive, and you'll know you have that commitment that I'm talking about, that separator, right? It is so, so vital to success. And I have to tell you, honestly, like after 75 hard, I haven't started phase one yet. I know personally I need to start phase one. Okay. I've slacked since I came off that program. Um, there's no other way to say it, right? There's nothing else. I know that when I was on 75 hard, I was a lot more productive. Yes, I was tired. I was burnt out. I was fucking achy and sore, and it was a tough go of things. I also know that when I was on that program, I was operating at a much, much higher level. That's what I want for all of you guys to operate on that level. You will get so much more accomplished and you will feel a lot better about yourself. You'll have that confidence that you need. And I'm telling you, it makes all the difference in the world. Next, another separator I see of all the greats is their ability to self-teach, right? What do I mean by that? They're constantly striving to find what they can do better. Where are they lacking? What they can improve on, and they're teaching themselves, or at least they know where to go to get better. Okay, and it could be reading a book. It could be podcast, listening to certain shows. It could be whatever you're finding on YouTube. The challenge is people don't do it often enough. They're not. It's very hard. I think one of the things that go hand in hand with teaching and constant improvement is the fact that people have to understand that they have to be able to self-assess, right? If you cannot accurately and honestly self-assess, you don't know where you're weak. You don't know what you need to improve. You don't know what you could do better. It's really hard to look at yourself in the mirror every day and say, hey, how can I improve? How can I get better today? How can I get better by just that 1% every day? And over the course of time, over the course of 6 months, 9 months, a year, you're going to see massive, massive changes, massive improvements. It's not an easy thing to do, right? I can tell you that when I'm reading 10, 20 pages a night in self-development, I feel a lot better. Okay, my mind's sharper. Mentally, I'm making better decisions. I'm also analyzing those decisions with a lot more clarity. Okay, so if something isn't working, like I said before, you're fixed on your goals, you're set on your goals, but you're flexible in the approach. All right, that's a big fucking deal, and a lot of people don't get it and they don't do it that way. So please, please, always strive for more. Always, self-assess, self-teach, and move forward. I think another separator, okay, is the ability to communicate. What do I mean by that? Well, think about it. If you have referral relationships, if you have clients, when you have a team, all right, you are not going to be able to do every little thing yourself. The ability to influence people is probably one of the greatest gifts that I've had, and I'm constantly striving to do it at a higher level. I've fallen short a lot of times in my life working with my team and communicating at a high level to them. That's something where I self-assess and I know that I'm lacking. I know that I can get better and I need to get better. So what do? Well, who do I think that is the foremost expert? Well, Jocko Willick. I've read every single book. He's spoken to the RJ Syndicate Live. I got a ton out of that, and that's helped a lot. But I know I still need more in that area. So what do? I'll reread the books. I'll self-assess some more. I'll see where I can change, what I can improve, and move forward from there. It's vital. I'm telling you, it is vital to operating and functioning at a higher level. Your ability to communicate with clients, the ability to communicate with partners, relationships. I mean, I could do a whole show just on communication, and you know what? I probably will. I think it's that important. So communication is another big separator that when you get to certain levels, it's vital. It's vital to achieve the outcomes that you want, because at a certain time, at a certain point in your life, you're going to want to scale, you're going to want to grow. The only way to do that is through clear concise communication. I may have just made up. No, I don't think I made up a word. Anyway, the last thing, and this goes even more so for business owners, the ability to be resourceful. Okay, again, you want to be fixed on your goals, set on your goals, flexible in your approach. Well, if you have been living under a rock the last 2 or 3 months, the country's been shut down due to some bullshit pandemic. And I have to tell you, the businesses that are going to make it out of this are the ones that are the most resourceful. A lot of times, it's not a money issue. It's not a marketing issue. It's not a people issue. It's being resourceful enough, finding a way to figure out how to accomplish your goals with what you have and on what you can obtain. All right, that is the number one separator in businesses I see, right? And if you have the ability to be resourceful, to do what you need to do, and to accomplish those goals, no matter how hard it is, you're going to be a lot further on in life. So I think one of the things that I've been doing lately, I've been looking into raising money for certain projects I have, whether it's real estate or financing. You certainly have to be resourceful. You have to show that you are somebody that people can count on, right? That has clear lines of communication, that knows what they're doing, that they're an expert in what they do. And to accomplish those goals, I have to be resourceful. I have to find where, who should I bring on? How do I get in front of them? And I've certainly done that, right? Next, it's also being resourceful with certain things that are going on. We did. I'll give you a really, really good example. With Sprout, with my financing company, we've done a lot of short-term financing, a lot of working capital financing, a lot of lines of credit. And for the last 2 months, it hasn't been there. Well, what happens if it's not there? Well, a lot of my competition, their businesses went to shit. What did we do? Well, we've always done SBAs, but we pivoted to the SBA programs, right? I see there's certain trends I'm picking up on now in the business financing space, and we are making a big push into new and emerging markets that we can serve at a very high level. By serving them at a high level, we're showing we have the resourcefulness to pivot, not completely pivot. We're not abandoning our model. We're adding programs. We're adding programs that haven't existed anywhere, right? It's being resourceful because we know we want to be at a point where we're putting out 40, 50 million every single month. How do you do that? You gauge up the opportunities and you pivot. That doesn't mean I'm abandoning our business. I'm not changing our model. I'm making a slight pivot into something where I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity, a lot of demand, and I think it's a great program that we're putting out. So being resourceful is a key for a business operator, right? And when you can put these 4 things together, commitment to excellence, doing what you say you're going to do, okay, the ability to communicate at a very high level, not just to clients and referral partners, but to your team. If you have a business partner, to your business partner. Another thing, I know I'm doing a recap here, but having communication with your significant other, right? A lot of salespeople, a lot of business owners, we're very driven people. Okay, we have goals that most people won't understand, and if you're in that category, I commend you. And one of the challenges is if you don't have the support at home, it's tough, right? And to get that support, to earn that trust, to put in those extra hours like I'm doing today, right? You have to communicate that with your significant other. Otherwise, they feel abandoned. They feel like you're not there for them, right? If you have kids, I have 2 kids, I do everything for them, all right? If I can't communicate or I don't communicate why I'm doing what I'm doing to them, I'm letting them down, all right? So the ability to communicate to everybody in your life is vital, okay? Being able to self-assess, self-teach, huge separator. And then having the resourcefulness. I think those are the 4 keys when you get to a super high level. When you feel like you're at the top, and I'd never feel like I'm at the top, ever, ever. I will never feel that way. Okay? There's always something more you can do, always something more you can give, always something else to accomplish. When you can really hone in on these 4 skills, you will be successful and you will raise what you're doing. Okay? And you'll make everybody around you better. You know, you think about the greatest athletes of all time. If you're watching The Last Dance, you know, I'm not even a basketball fan. I love and I resonate so much with what Jordan did. You know, if you look at like a Gretzky, okay, he made everybody around him better. All right. When you can operate with these 4 things in business and sales, you're going to make your team better. You're going to make everybody around you better. You're going to make your partners better. All right. I hope this helped. Now, remember, guys, I want you to pay the fee. You're listening to this and you know someone that needs to hear it, send it their way, share it. I really appreciate the more ears we can get in front of as a community, the more people are going to be able to help and impact, and that's why I'm doing this. All right, so please share this, like this, give me a 5-star review, and I will catch you on the next show.
Success out of failure.
Thanks for tuning in to Creating Success Out of Failure. Please share this with someone that needs to hear it, post it on social media, and leave us a 5-star review. I'll catch you on the next one.
Creating success out of failure.